Hey everyone, we just finished season 4 of Stranger Things on Netflix. We're going to break it down, rank it on our board, tell you what we liked, what we didn't like, all that stuff. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So let's start with the issues first. We'll start with the cons so we can end on a high note. So as always on these videos, we're going to keep it relatively spoiler free as much as we can. If you've already seen the show, you'll probably be able to put together what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen the show, I don't need to ruin it for you here. So that being said, without getting too spoilery, the first major issue that kind of popped out at me this season is the lack of character deaths throughout the entire series has led to some issues. Now, I would never suggest killing a character for stupid reasons or for shock value or for a cheap emotional pull. That's not what I'm saying here. Stranger Things seems to have the opposite issue. The show itself is undercutting a lot of its own suspense. They've let so many characters get out of situations that they really shouldn't have, that I'm starting to not even worry about them because I know they're going to make it out. Now, there has been some great character moments and character deaths throughout the series. I'm not saying that those aren't good, and I'm not saying that they weren't critical and important to the story they were trying to tell. As a matter of fact, I think they did a great job with most of those. The problem they're having now is that all of the main characters feel like they have plot armor. I'm not worried about them making it out in a lot of these situations, and that's not good for a scary, suspenseful show. And when they do finally decide to commit to something, I feel like it might be too little too late. I feel like I might have that, oh, thank God they finally killed someone feeling rather than the, oh my God, they just killed someone feeling. And that's a bit of an issue. The other part of this issue is that a lot of the characters that are still hanging around kind of feel like they finished their arcs and their stories and are just kind of hanging out now. They don't really feel like they're serving the story. They're not really there to push things. And when they do, it really kind of feels like they're forced into the situation and that they don't really know what to do when they're in there. And that hurts the characters that are still there and interesting and still have their stories unfolding and going. It takes away from those characters that we're still interested in. And like I said before, when it comes to suspense and horror, the last thing you want your show to feel like is comfy and predictable. That's the worst thing a horror and suspense show could be. And it's starting to creep up just a little bit. The good news is that's basically the only criticism I have of this entire show. There was a few weak moments and convenient plot points, but nothing that the excellent execution of this show didn't make up for in spades. The show was full of standout performances left and right from both the main cast as well as the supporting cast. Visually, the atmosphere of Stranger Things was in its finest form this season. From the 80s nostalgia to the epic soundtrack to the terror of the Upside Down, absolutely all of that stuff was perfected here in season 4. The villain of the season was particularly notable as one of the best villains I've seen in a TV show in a long time that I can think of right now. I really enjoyed everything they did with him and building him up, and his presence in the show was absolutely fantastic. Overall, Stranger Things is an easy approval. The show just keeps getting better and better in almost every way, every season. It feels like it's on the very edge of being in that greatest of all time category and that kind of discussion when we're talking about what are the best TV shows ever made. But there's just something not quite there yet. Something isn't right yet. It's right there, but I feel like there's something just holding it back into that honorable mentions category. It's almost like the show is afraid of upsetting its fan base or hurting their fans' feelings. And for a scary, suspenseful show, it's just playing it a little too safe for what I would like to see in this specific setting. I think it's pretty clear that we're nearing the end of the show, and it might be too little, too late. I think they've done a good job of building up these characters, and whatever happens to them, I'm here for it. We do have to wait quite a while for season 5. They're saying 2024 right now, so it's going to be a minute, so you're going to have time to watch it over and theory craft. If you've already watched it, we'd love to hear what your theories and thoughts are. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. It's definitely worth your time. And once you're done, come back here, check out some of our other videos. We'd love to help you find something else great to go watch. But until then, you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.